My man Jamie, son. He was talking about top class. He's like, but he's gonna go somewhere, but he ain't gonna go nowhere fucking with Mac. When he said that. Oh shit! What up, son?
Back at it.
A lot to talk about, man. It's been a wild week,
fun week
in the world of detailing. It's been an entertaining week. Like there's a lot going on. The shit's almost overwhelming. It's like fuck. There's a lot, but it's all good. It's good for the community because we have, it's all like podcast shit. We started our week with a podcast at 6 a.m. with Bead Maker in Coffee with PNS. So we were on a podcast this week and, how many other podcasts started this past week?
Man, a lot, son. Every day of the week. Mondays and Fridays, tune in to that.
Yeah. We'll be here every Monday, every Friday to start and end your week right. On the right note. Get that week started and celebrate on Friday.
As far as I know, there's only one podcast.
Yeah, that's ours. The only one you need to be at. But no, shout out to all the podcasters out there because we know it's a lot of work. So Jamie and Eddie, man, they had a go. You want to start with right there with the Born Detailers?
You said Jamie and Eddie.
I meant Jamie and Shad.
Yeah, man.
Jamie and Shad got a little twisted. And like I said, there's a lot of podcasts out there. Man, there's a lot of podcasts. Can't get them straight. Yeah, there's more podcasts and chemicals out there.
Sure. Oh, I think, maybe.
Okay.
Yeah, man. Before we start, I didn't even finish one, but man, I fuck with Jamie, man.
Yeah,
man.
Jamie's a cool dude, man.
He just has all this fun energy, man.
Yeah. There's guys that you just gravitate towards, that almost instantly are going to be like brothers. Like you already know who they are. You know what type of person they are. They're everything that they present themselves as. We identify well with those types of cats.
Yeah.
And that realness for us is like, it's like when you find your tribe and you're like, okay, this is us. This is how we see things. This is where we're at. And you just have a lot of things in alignment with each other, whether it's goals, whether it's, self-care, whether it's sports, culture, upbringing, shit like that just kind of bonds you. And then also we're in the same industry. And then the unique thing is with Jamie and Shad, they're nice with their business too. So for us,
the boys gets busy.
Yes. So for us, it's, when you're able to wear multiple hats and do it well, we know how much work goes into that. And we look at it from an operational point. So not only is it inspiring because you're like, okay, these guys get it. These guys are doing it. These guys, like, I want to learn from you learn when you're around people like that.
I like looking at them too. Whatever these dudes are doing, they're smooth with it. That's just the automatic, like whatever they're doing, they're getting down.
Yeah. I know it's legit if those guys, it's been vetted already. And that's a hard thing for us to do because so often we're disappointed when people recommend or say something or do something. But if guys like that are telling us something, we're listening up to it.
Yes.
From a technical side and a business side. It's all like being considered.
It feels like we're all asking the same questions. We're all trying to find that, you know what I mean? So the energies there's no energy wasted.
Yeah.
It's all energy going to something good.
Yeah. It's a very inspiring time whenever I'm with those guys.
Yeah.
Let's just put it that way. It's hard to describe, and I think the more we get to know people, in the industry, those guys are starting to kind of gravitate towards us too. It's kind of, when they say you gravitate towards those who are like you, and that's just human nature. I think that's what's happening a lot in the industry, even with the channel. You don't see some of the stuff that you see in other, comments of things where it's kind of like, we're not having that discussion. This discussion is more over here. So it's it's a different type of person that we don't come across very often. And we appreciate that, and we like to have that bond immediate and be able to chop it up and really get, we're having fun. It's like the epitome of fun with business involved.
Yes. Yeah.
That's the best way to put
that to it now.
Yeah, because
you know what I mean?
Because you have different types of business meetings. When we're hanging out with them, it's just all of us just talking, and someone's gonna learn something. Some kind of game is gonna get kicked around for you to learn. And for me, it's like there's nothing better than I'm learning about business. We're talking about business. We're giving advice about business. All these things are going back and forth to one another. And to me, that's where a lot of shit, like a lot of growth happens, because that's where the ideas are inspired from. That's where you're kind of like, okay, what, okay, maybe I don't need to do that. He just brought up some great reasons why not to do that, or some great reasons to maybe bring things on board. It was even small stuff like the touch-up. It's like, I don't want to fuck with touch-up. That's a lot of work. Went out there, that's just easy money.
20 minutes later?
Yeah, okay. yeah. So there's things like that you're not gonna learn from like the average person.
Also, what's a good thing too is when you build these relationships, there's certain people that they're just like, whatever. When these guys, when they have a rebuttal, like I'm listening. I'm not just, you know what I mean? Like I'm like, okay, like I want more and more. Yeah. I want to be challenged more and more.
Yeah. They're not talking about no punk shit. they're talking about like the real. Does this make money?
Yeah.
Or is it which one's gonna,
When you say something, they're like, yo, but have you thought about this? Like, no, I haven't. Or yes, I have.
Yeah.
But not like that.
Yeah. I think it's just a different level of understanding and experience.
Yeah, man.
I think a lot of that comes with experience, because without the experience, like, the amount of knowledge going back and forth between both parties, that's just all experience. We're not putting anything out based off of emotion, like, oh yeah, wouldn't it be great if blah? Yeah, that would be fucking great, but it'd be terrible for business. Yes. It's none of that. There's none of the like, no, you're not understanding what I'm trying to say. It's like, okay, cool. I agree with that, or I don't agree with that, and here's why, type of deal. So it's just good ideas and good energy and creativity. And for me, that's where a lot of shit comes out of. That's like the genesis of a lot of good ideas. And so when you're hearing them talk, it's almost like they're speaking our language. They're like, okay, they're asking the real fucking questions that people are thinking about, but they don't want to really say.
I'm over here laughing like, what the fuck?
Yeah. I could watch those guys. I get just being around them in person too.
They're you guys ain't watched the ladies podcast. They did a recap of SEMA. Is dope.
Yeah, and it's like from like most of it is from like Jamie's eyes, which is really cool, because if you guys know Jamie, Jamie's having fun wherever he's at. He's like.
So they were talking about they were talking about how we all met Top Class. Shout out to Top Class. We didn't even talk about him in our SEMA recap.
No, we did it. Shout out to Top Class,
man. We met him. Good James. Young dude.
Yeah.
Dude's going somewhere. But anyway, so Jamie's talking about it, and he goes, "But I tell you, he ain't gonna go nowhere fucking with Mac Shine though."
Was Backshine holding him down or something?
I don't know. I'll probably maybe have.
Was he at the Backshine booth or something? I don't know. Was he at the Backshine booth?
But Jamie he ain't going nowhere with Backshine. Cold, man. My man, cold. All right, man. So go check him out, man.
Yeah, if you haven't checked him out, it's shit like that. It's like we support all the podcasts out there, because I think it's important for us as an industry. If there's an influx of anything, you know what I mean? Just go support it, because it's pushing the industry more to the forefront. People might be like, oh, there's always a podcast. There's a fucking podcasts are not just reserved for detailing. Like, there's fucking podcasts for everything.
Every industry.
But the way I see podcasts is for a lot of reasons. Like, for instance, today if there wasn't a bunch of podcasts, we would have nothing to talk about. Like we're giving a recap of the podcast. So, and we're kind of giving out not our opinion, but we're just giving like objectively what we're seeing and what's entertaining, what's worth watching for us, or just things that highlight things that we caught. Because as a detailer, we don't really like watching too much detailing stuff. But I go to see out of curiosity, see what people are doing, what they're up to, and I like to support them.
It's not so much that I don't like watching detailing stuff. It's that detailing stuff is fucking whack.
What do you mean? Like in what way?
Boring.
You're gonna make some people mad.
Well, I'm not the only one that feels this way. People talk about it. I was listening to the Jimbo JB podcast.
Another one we're gonna talk about. This is a good one. That's a good one too. That's a good one too.
Jimbo was just like, there's so many, but I'm just like, there's so many, and not only that, before there were so many, the ones that were out there were boring to me. Like I like to laugh, man. I like to gain some knowledge. And a lot of times it's just boring.
Yeah, there's a lot. There's a lot that are they're difficult to watch, but there's some guys that'll keep my attention.
For whatever reason, there's some guys that will keep my attention.
And then sometimes you're just there for the chats.
Oh yeah,
sometimes you're just there for the chats.
And then I tap in to social support. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
going through the same struggle.
yeah. And that's why I'm big on, we like to see the industry grow, because maybe it's not growing the way we want it or at the pace. Like obviously we would like to see the industry grow. In a good progression. In a good healthy progression where we. I don't know, where the quality increases with the growth is what I should say.
It's there?
Like, I would like to see the quality of everything just kind of keep growing. And I think, and with the I think the podcasts are good because I kind of see in other fields and industries how it's really helped. For instance, comedians.
That's the best thing ever.
Like that. Besides, there's specials, which it was really hard to get. Probably until COVID and Netflix started really like pushing shit out about with the comedian stuff, because COVID hit the comedians hard because none of the clubs or bars and stuff were open. So they kind of said, "Fuck it, we're entertaining, we're funny." People like us, it's practice, and we get to be around our friends. So that whole community in industry has changed because of podcasting. So before, you would have to wait to see, Pops was talking about Gary Owen. He likes Gary Owen. And he's talking about Gary Owen. He's like, I remember hearing about him back in the day, but Pops wasn't a big Gary Owen fan. But now Pops is like on YouTube watching all the Gary Owen stuff. But he saw him through like a Shannon Sharp podcast. And he was like, I forgot about Gary Owen. And as he's watching the podcast, Pop's like, I forgot how funny he is. So now Pops is watching the podcast. But I could see that type of thing, just by us mentioning the Born Detailers or Jimbo and so-and-so, maybe somebody watching our videos like, okay, I trust Joel and Sal's judgment enough to go check these out. So I think that's important. And we're going to be having guests on the show. So I think that's going to be important too, from other podcasts to kind of get their input and their ideas about where the industry's at, where it should and shouldn't go. Because there's people are debating about it, like, there's too much. There's
always going
to be saturation in the market though. Yeah. Like that's nothing new.
I'll tell you what. Who came? No, someone just made a comment about that. It was Tyler, the Creator. He goes, if I was president for 24 hours or whatever, the first thing I would do is shut down all these podcasts because they all suck. So, well, my man ain't lying. Because
there's some terrible podcasts, and like on all industries. How many podcasts do you click on and there's two girls sitting there talking about some dumb shit, and you're just like, what are they talking? Like, what are they even talking about?
Bitching.
Like who cares? Who cares? Like why? What is this? It's like how are you famous? But whatever. Like we're not. That's a whole nother story. But yes, there's a lot of. I just don't think it's for everybody.
We're not in the industry, so we don't know.
Yeah.
Whatever their industry is. Yeah. There's But it's good.
It's like a TikTok dancing. It's like every motherfucker wanted to start dancing all of a sudden on a camera. Like, that's so fucking weird.
Vine started that. Remember Vine? Vine started
I didn't even mess with Vine, man. I didn't mess with none of it till the gram. Because all the other ones, I was like, they're probably all... Because there was quite a few that were small like that. They even had the... Wasn't there one before YouTube that didn't pop off? I want to say there was one before YouTube, and it just didn't do it.
MySpace.
Oh, yeah.
MySpace. Yeah. I was on MySpace.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So yeah, as far as the amount of podcasts, I like it. I like it because there's some interesting stuff there. But let us know what you guys think about the amount of podcasts, what some of your favorite podcasts are. And of course, we're here every Monday and Friday at 6 a.m. So on to the next one. Who we got?
We're talking about MySpace and Vine.
Yeah.
Let's get right into it, man. My man, another dope one that's coming. One of my favorites is Hold My Beer Detail.
Oh yeah, that man,
cartoon
that
joint,
man, yeah,
the AI, whatever that. You guys ain't checked out. You guys want to be entertained. My man is calling shit out in a funny way.
Yeah.
And has some people shook.
Yeah.
And he ain't lying about nothing.
No, he's not. He hasn't said anything. And he's actually featured us a couple times, which is cool. So shout out. But he or she, I don't know who it is, but they're doing it in a very objective way.
Yeah.
And I like it because it's in a medium of a newscast. You know, that's the way that it's shot and edited. So looking at it like that, it's just, it's not it. It's kind of like the content, the title's created. You know, whatever it is, so and so has a new tire shine, and then it goes through some sort of statistics. Whether that be they had 8, and now this is a 9th to their lineup. So they're giving you information, and then it's kind of giving maybe any objection to the product.
A man ain't stupid.
Yeah.
That's for sure.
Yeah.
Whoever that vato is,
it's broken down very well. And it's put together very well. It might be Nick from DIY.
Ooh.
Did I get that one? Damn.
You started.
I started with.
So I heard the Hold My Beer is going to come on our podcast and reveal his face.
Oh. To make some shit.
Hey, bro. So his last episode, he was talking about all the YouTubers, all the podcasts and stuff.
Yeah.
And he brought up some good points. He said, well, he's all on YouTube. We have a YouTube chemical. So pretty much, why is Facebook even So he pulled it up and said, "This is Facebook."
Got the Facebook. So you can't leave the Facebook cats out of it. They're like, "Man, we ain't going yet."
Facebook said, "Hold my beer." Facebook.
I'm gonna show you how it's done. The old heads. The old heads. The old heads.
I think they were out in UK.
They're out in UK.
I could be wrong.
You don't mess with them cats in the UK.
You don't, because you know why?
No.
They clap back at him. They clap back at my man and hit that man with the Rico.
They're heavy. Oh man, you know.
They hit him with the cease and desist. Yeah. They hit my man with the cease and desist, talking about whatever.
They probably have some crazy thing abroad where you know.
Man, we better shut up. We're gonna come. Facebook gonna come after us, son.
Yeah, but it's funny.
When you got people coming at you, that means you're doing something good.
Yeah.
So
my man got word on the streets is my man got a cease and desist letter. You got to shut it down. This is trademarked. We ain't gonna say the name, but you know who you are.
Man got hit with the Rico. I like what they say, man. Hit me with the Rico.
So,
hey,
go ahead. You go ahead.
I was gonna say, but that just led me to think. YouTube. You said YouTube got their own chemicals. Facebook got their own chemicals. Question for you, just into one is, you think it ever stop chemicals? I think you ain't seen nothing yet.
No.
It's going to keep coming.
No. As long as there's an industry growing, there's going to be, it's going to keep going and going and going. It's going to get bled dry like any other industry. You know, look at, for instance, look back into the 90s. If you grew up around that time, like the fresh era, right after that, getting into the early 2000s, a lot of rappers and hip hop artists, because designers were finally realizing that the culture is embodying a certain style and nobody was making that style. So these designers started making that style, and these guys were usually closer to the streets. So it blew up. So obviously people with fame like Eminem, Outkast, Nas, Wu-Tang, all of these guys see an opportunity like, hey, these guys dressing like us, we could be the celebrity of this industry. Kind of like, you know, kind of like an influencer. Like an influencer, oh, well, they were all doing this, might as well sell to my audience.
Why wouldn't you?
So that's to me, I think that's going to happen more and more and more. I don't think that's going to stop. Because we're talking Ammo NYC, Detail Groove, Dallas Paint Correction. Who else has their own brand? Pan. Who else has another line?
There's so many I can't even think of them.
Yeah.
There's a lot. There's
so many influencers, people that have YouTube channels or whatever, you know, Detail Co. There's so many, like, that shit ain't gonna stop. It's just gonna keep getting more and more prominent.
It's a norm. I don't see it anytime soon. That's for sure.
No.
I do not see it anytime soon.
So Hold My Beer talks about that too in his videos. He talks about his Hold My Beer talks about his view on the influencer in the detailing space as far as selling product. And he also talks about his idea, you know, of what's going on, you know, his perspective or his thoughts on it, which is rather insightful, because on a few occasions, he kind of opened up my perspective. There's not very many people that do that to me, where I'm, you know, because those are things that I pay attention to. So when I see it, I'm like, oh, nice. You know, like this guy's talking, he's thinking from a different place than me. And I like that because I'm learning stuff. I'm like, okay. And it's entertaining. It's cartoon. It's cartoon.
You can't be mad at cartoon.
But he will be showing his face when he's a guest here. Look out for that one.
Mondays and Fridays.
Yeah, Mondays and Fridays.
You know what also is not going to stop with these chemicals? This corny ass naming them. This is called the T-Rex spray.
Yeah.
It's going to keep on coming. The Crocodile
corny.
3000. It's like, man, that's all we got. Yeah. That's all we got. How many animals in the animal kingdom?
Yeah, I don't even want. We're gonna have a whole episode on this one. Don't even worry. This is a whole. I think that's when. When Ron Dog comes through, I think that's gonna be his. The chemicals ain't gonna stop, man. None of this shit's gonna stop. It's just gonna keep getting, you know, crazier and crazier.
It's just like the sport drinks.
Yeah.
Same thing. You're an athlete. Why wouldn't you have a sports drink? My man Ty Prince said he's off. You're a detailer. Every detailer should have their own brand chemical.
Yeah.
I get what he's saying.
Yeah.
I get what he's saying.
That's another form of commerce. You know, it's like it keeps you.
It's a business.
Yeah, it's a business. You know, and if you want, I guess that's the way to really. And there's some people that just they don't mess with nothing unless they make it. And we have a few friends in the industry that are at the point where they're just like, no, he's like, I don't want nothing in my shop that I'm not getting paid for. Which is where you should want to be.
Yeah.
If you have a small business and that business starts to grow, you may probably want to invest in a warehouse. You invest in a warehouse, you may want to invest in your own distribution. You may want, eventually you want to own all parts of the chain. And you can do that at a very small level or at a very big level. It's up to you, but that's the way to be the most profitable in the long run and to reduce risk and points of failure too. because you're in control of everything. Everything's ran through one, operating system. Some people are like, I don't want nothing else in my shot, but shit that says my name on it. Makes a lot of sense.
Mm-hmm.
Makes a lot of sense. I'm not too concerned with stuff like that because people are like, oh, you should start a brand. We've heard that so many times. Like I don't want to deal with that shit. I don't want to try to compete with. If I can't compete with the top dogs in the industry, like as far as chemical usage and everything, I'm not even jumping in that space. But some guys do. I don't know if the money was right. If the money changes everything, man. There'll be some signs. There'll be some signs. Somebody
fuck chemicals, Dave. I gotta. We can talk.
Okay, actually, I got a little time right now. What you doing right now? Yeah. So I'll come back to me. Hey man, we making chemicals next week. What?
And it's called Red Dragon. Hey man, he like the name Red Dragon. Red Dragon.
Some Korean brand just approached me, man.
I wouldn't mind just selling in Australia. Yeah. It's exclusive in Australia. That's it, baby. That's all you get.
Like the American celebrities when they go over there and they do the little coffee ads.
Yeah, like they only play basketball in China. This shit only sold in China. You gonna get that bring it to the US or no?
They're like, yo, Joel, I saw you over there in Indonesia.
That's right. That's right. That's how we're gonna do it. We're just gonna do it in the country, out of the country, son. And then show up at SEMA. It's imported. You got that imported chemicals, baby. On to the next one, man. Oh, hey, man, a guy that I didn't meet him at SEMA. I seen him, and I feel bad that I didn't introduce myself because for whatever reason, it's my man Keeve.
Oh, Keeve, yeah.
Keeve, man.
Keeve, I felt bad too because I feel like we came with too much energy. We came in hot. And Sal had he was on his little scooter, and it was live over there because I want to say Josh was there.
Everybody was there.
There was a lot.
There's a lot of people.
And Keeve was there, and then a couple people came up to us when we I think Adrian had showed up that day too.
Yeah.
So there was a lot going on. And Keeve was recording. He was in the middle of recording. So there's all this commotion around him. And I felt bad because we kind of were
Matter of fact, there was a lot of people too, man.
Yeah, it felt really, I remember that day and I was like, oh man. And I was like, what's up, Keeve? And Keeve couldn't get off his live. He had said something like, I have to stay on until a certain time. So I didn't know if he was committed to somebody or if, sometimes like if it's a membership thing, you got to stay on for X amount of time that you say you're going to stay on, whatever. But that was only, and then I think we saw him for a second or so later on, but it was just kind of like, hey, what's up, Keeve?
In passing?
Yeah, no, it wasn't real talking. I didn't have any conversations with him and I would have liked to. But I've been watching Keeve's channel. Keeve's all about the pressure washers and stuff, but I'm seeing Keeve pop up too in the chats a lot more, and I'm liking my man Keeve in the chats, boy. Keeve, you wildin' now. I like you. Keep it coming, Keeve.
Hey, that's why I tuned into a lot of the
to see if Keeve's in there. I'm like, oh shit, Keeve's here. Keeve's about to pop off on somebody. He's about to give it to someone.
Oh man, that video where he was talking about all the stuff I hate doing, that we hate doing with the quick.
Oh, with the big boy, boy, yeah.
And then he got to talking, and then he said the tips touching.
I said, "Is this Keeve? What the fuck?"
Tips touching.
I said, "Keeve." I said, "Keeve," and the Keeve goes out that look.
They did a little smile.
Yeah. Female is going to be on spigot. So guess what's going to be coming over here? A male, and they're touching tips, touching tips.
So I was like, Keeve, man, you nasty.
You nasty, boy. You nasty. You little nasty Keeve. Oh, nasty
Keeve
boy.
nasty. That's what I'm doing. Keeve nasty. My man, Keith
Oh,
Nasty.
shit. Oh, man. Keep it
Yeah,
poppin',
everybody.
Keith.
Hashtag Keith Nasty.
Oh, man.
Oh, make a detail shows hashtag.
Oh, we
Keith
got-
Na-
we-
we got
coming
you,
for you,
Keith. Shout out to all the podcasters, all of the YouTube channels that keep us entertained. And keep the conversation going. A couple things we want to mention before we leave too is Phoenix EOD. They're doing their annual giveaway, which goes to a deserving detailer who is in need in some way, shape, or form of their business. Sometimes it's people that get robbed, people that have an accident or something. Just pretty much it's donations from, a bunch of people in the industry. We also want to throw in a couple hours of consulting on that too. So it'd be nice to be able to give that too, because consulting could be a very powerful thing for a business to get you on track if you're not already, to really kind of steer you. And consulting, it just helps.
It's that season of giving.
Yeah. So shout out to Phoenix EOD and Josh V. He got like his 12 days of Christmas. My man's giving out DI systems, pressure washers. My man's just giving everything away. Vacuums, he got it all. So Josh V, if you guys know Josh V, follow them both on their YouTube channels, their Instagrams. Great people. And we will be with Josh V.
Next month.
Yeah, January 22nd and 23rd for the Coach Kemi training. Josh V will be there. We will be there. Rafa will be there. Diego and Casey will also be there from KCX. So if you guys want to sign up for that, I will leave the link in the description below.
So go check them out. And for us, since it's the season of giving, just go ahead and share this with somebody for their Christmas present.
Share it with someone you love.